Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right. These two folks right here meeting is the reason why the United States is doing all they can to have good relationships with Kurdistan. Al-Sudini meeting with the Prince bin Salman, all right? If you do your research, you'll find out that him and his father and the royal family are the true reason for the October shooting over there in Vegas. I got to do a video about it and then put it on my Pimpy's News Network so you guys can see the truth behind what really happened. Anyways, let's get into this. I know people are excited about a lot of news that they heard out there, and it's, of course, all the news is being exaggerated and conflated and twisted around to try to give you guys too much hopium. I mean, it's good news. It's really good news, but not the way it's being presented out there. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, check out our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $200, you will get an additional ½ ounce of silver with your order. Just follow the link down below in the description. No promo codes are needed. You can find me on other social media platforms like Facebook. I do have my own group called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrency, as well as foreign currency investments and any other investments you wish to talk about. Come on over here. It's free to join. Just follow the link down below in the description. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, Odyssey, and now Rumble. Yes, that's right. I finally got a Rumble. And in addition to that, you can find me over here at Pimpy's News Network. If I should ever get kicked off of YouTube, you can find me on any other one of these platforms. So come join me. It's free to do so. The links for all these locations are down below in the description. So come on over and join me. Right, first things first, the U.S. dollar is continuing to gain grounds on the Iraqi Dinar. Look at this, U.S. dollar versus the IQD rates declined. This is not good. It's out of whack. This is for March 26th. You can see right here, the news is reporting that the Central Exchange traded U.S. dollar at the rate of 1,542 dinars for every dollar. This is not good. The interesting thing is it goes on to say that's 1,750 below yesterday. Are they trying to tell me that yesterday the gap between the official rate and the market rate was 3,200 dinar difference? I mean, that's crazy. I think there's something wrong with this article, but I might be wrong. Look at that. 1,542 dinars for every dollar. It says 1,750 below yesterday. So there's definitely something wrong. I think what they're trying to say is that yesterday was 1,750 dinar. It is now 1,542. But either way you look at it, this isn't good. The Iraqi dinar is not gaining in value versus the U.S. dollar. And it's going in the wrong direction. So this is good news. It says the U.S. Senate votes to revoke Iraq war licenses. You'll notice there's only 2 licenses that are out there that are open, and the 2 people that had the license that are out there and open are related to one another. So the U.S. Senate voted to overwhelmingly on Monday in favor of legislation repealing the license from the 1991 Iraq War and the 2002 Iraq War, both of them from Bush 1 and Bush 2, as Congress lobbied to restore its role in deciding to send U.S. combat troops out of the United States. Both times were in violations of our Constitution. Both times the Democrats and the Republicans didn't have the balls to stand up to the president and say, hey, you can't do that. Obama did it several times himself. Trump went in there. He was the only president to not start a war in decades. The legislation received 65 votes to 28 on completing the debate on the legislation, more than 60 votes required in a 100-member Senate, paving the way for the vote to pass later this week. And all the voices against the legislation, of course, are Republicans, because it was under 2 Republican presidents that this happened. By closing this legislation, that means that Biden can't just arbitrarily send us to war without going through Congress first, or any other president after that. Members of Congress have argued for years that the Senate ceded much power to both Republicans and Democrat presidents over whether troops should be sent to fight according to Reuters by passing open licenses to wage war and then fail to cancel them. Under the Constitution, Congress, not the president, has the right to declare war, but nobody ever does anything to hold anybody accountable for wars. They'll make up some piss poor excuse, or they'll go, oh, you're not patriotic and a person must be supporting the enemy. All this kind of mumbly jumbly that people fall for. Supports of the current bill call the 91 and 2002 military force licenses against Iraq zombie licenses. They say that the licenses are outdated and inadequate given that the wars are long over and Iraq is now a partner of the United States. The revocation of these licenses will show the region and to the world that the United States is not an occupying power, that the war in Iraq is over, that they are moving forward, and that we are moving forward and working with Iraq as a strategic partner. Yeah, they're doing a lot of butt kissing. All right, they need to, because Iraq doesn't quite look like it's lining up with the United States the way they were hoping. They're playing the game very well, but this is why you're seeing the United States kiss a lot of Kurdistan butt. Case in point, al-Sadini and the Saudi prince emphasized mutual cooperation in various sectors. The Prime Minister al-Sadini received on Monday evening a phone call from the Crown Prince bin Salman. A statement from the offices said by the news that the communication witnessed the exchange of congratulations on the occasion of the holy month of Ramadan and a prayer to God Almighty to return it to the two countries and the Arab and Islamic nations with abundance, good, and prosperity. He had during the call the discussion of bilateral relations between the two countries, ways to develop them, and discussed a number of regional and international issues of common interest, as well as stressing the continuation of mutual cooperation. So all is good. Both of them are OPEC members. This is what I'm talking about. After the U.S. State Department report on Kurdistan, Washington confirms the depth of the relationship with Erbil. Yeah, I bet. So the United States renewed on Monday. The United States affirmed the continued strengthening of relations between Erbil and Washington in political, economic, and security and commercial fields. This came during a meeting by the Consul American in Erbil, Irvin Hicks, to the Department of Foreign Relations of the government of the territory of Kurdistan and was received by the official of the Office of Foreign Relations and the Kurdistan Regional Government. So, yeah, they're affirming their relationship is becoming stronger and stronger. Now, see, this is the kind of thing that it just drives me crazy. I had a rant earlier about this whole climate control thing. People have to do more digging to find out the truth. The President of the Republic returns to Baghdad. So President Rashid has come back from the United Nations Water Conference held in New York. Rashid had participated in the opening session of the United Nations Water Conference, along with many of their majesties and excellencies and representatives of participating countries to discuss the world's water crisis and ways to reduce its risk to people. They're not. They're trying to control the water. You guys got to pay attention to how they're corralling the water. Water is going to be the new oil coming up here. People are going to be fighting for it. They're building up all these dams so they can control the water, prevent people from getting it. It's just another control mechanism that they're going to be working on to try to make sure that the water is in control for them to do the 15-minute cities is all it is. It says Iraq bears the brunt of the effects of climate change and extreme weather conditions, including drought, dust storms, and high temperatures beyond our control. Really? Beyond your control, right? Is that what you're saying? Drought and all that has nothing to do with the dams that are up above and the violations of the agreement between Turkey and Iraq. That has nothing to do with it, huh? Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is Iraq's average precipitation over the years. Of course, this is through 2020. You could see they have the same pattern they've been going through for decades. You see, this is a 50-year chart. Look at this. So it's the same thing. They go up and down on the amount of rain they get. And sometimes they get more rains than others. We know in California because for 5 years we had a drought. And the drought was ended all in 1 year, this year. That's how much rain and snow we got. We're above 200% of snowpack right now. The rainfall is way up there. Our reservoirs are all full except for the ones they keep trying to drain. You know, if they could just stop that so-called, what they call a runoff, that the Democrats built here in right in the middle of our farmlands. They said to help keep the land from being eroded, but that's not what it was for. Again, it's just another control mechanism. If you plug that up and let the rains do what they're supposed to do and the water stay where it's supposed to stay, they'll have plenty of water out there on the farmlands to grow. Anyways, there's no change in the weather patterns. They've been the same for decades. So this kind of stuff drives me crazy. So Iraq signs a memorandum of understanding with 3 Arab countries for agriculture and commercial cooperation. This is exactly what they need, because one of the biggest money makers for Iraq is their agriculture. But again, right now with the Tigris River being drained because nobody's letting them have the water like they're supposed to, they don't have the water necessary to grow their farms. So Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan signed on Monday a quadpartite memorandum of understanding for cooperation in the agricultural field and enhanced trade exchange to achieve integration between the 4 countries. The memorandum includes strengthening and developing cooperation in the agricultural field, both plant and animal, exchanging expertise, exchanging experiences, information, and successful agriculture experiences, and managing reserves and gardens between the 4 countries. It also included cooperation in the field of firefighting, climate change, rural development, agriculture extension, production, animal health, and veterinary medicines. Look, Iraq seems to be on the right path. They got to pay attention to the oil prices. This is not helping them out. Again, the World Economic Forum told them that it'd be after the first quarter of 2023, you're going to see a huge drop in oil prices. Gee, I wonder how they knew that. And if the oil prices drop too low, it's going to affect Iraq. Thank God they have a lot of foreign currency reserve buildups as well as gold reserve buildups. But right now, that huge gap between the official rate and the market rate is ridiculous. One of the ways they can combat it is to revalue the Iraqi dinar once again. But I would take it from 1,300 dinars. I would take it right where it was before. Bring it down like 1,100 dinars. Maybe even as low as 1,050 dinars. By doing that, it's going to strengthen the Iraqi dinar, while at the same time closing that gap when it comes to the black market. You guys let me know what you think. I look forward to your comments, and I'll catch you later. I'm out.